the useless crafter. All right, so today I'm going to show you how to take pieces off your Cricut mat and not deal with something like this where it's all curled up, right? So I feel like there's really two correct methods of taking things off the mat. Obviously, this does not count as one of the methods where it curls up, okay? So what I did was I wanted to show you, I did two mats because I'm gonna show you just two different ways. One is definitely my preferred method and the other one I don't like at all. So that's my personal unbiased opinion. Anyway, so what I did was on both sheets, I cut copy paper, which is 20 pounds-ish. Medium one is 65-pound cardstock, and then the last one is 110-pound cardstock. So I did it on my mats. The other thing that I want to talk about is, if you notice, I'm using my green mat, even for my copy paper. I buy the green mat 12 by 24 in bulk when it's on sale from Cricut because it's the best deal. I don't clean my mats, and partially because I feel like it's cheap enough that I don't have to. I use it when it gets less sticky. It becomes my blue mat. If I need it super, super sticky, then I will put on the Cricut Strong Grip transfer tape on top. So then it becomes super sticky, right? And then when I'm done, I just peel off the transfer tape. So that's sort of my thing. I love using this mat. I have a ton of them, and it's really the only one that I use. All right, so let me show you. I'm debating whether I should show you my preferred method or the other method first. But if you've heard, as you can see, I have my own crafting space, my own craft room. And so, this mat is usually almost always clean. So I don't mind flipping it over because that's the first method that I want to show you. But before I had my own space, I was constantly moving things out of the way to have a workspace. So with that being said, there's like debris, lint, all that stuff. So I don't want to put my clean mat and flip it over. So you could do a couple of things. You could always use your, the mat cover and sort of cover whatever space is open so that it doesn't pick up any debris. But like I said, it's just not my favorite. But first thing is, go ahead and just peel off your the excess paper. So not what you're cutting. So you can see this is still pretty sticky. So really, really sticky. I wonder if this is going to be a mistake. All right, so here we go. And you can see, if you do it like that, look how nasty my paper is, right? But I don't need this paper, so it's okay. Now, I was trying to, in my head, think of when you would use copy paper, and the only time I use copy paper is when I'm doing print and cut. And then I use, I do it for my characters most of the time, like any of the popular movie characters, like this guy from Trolls, right? So I do print and cut, and you can see it's really thin because it's copy paper and it kind of rolls, but I don't mind because I always cut one in cardstock. And then what I do is I use double-sided tape, and then that way it becomes sturdy and it can stick onto my cake topper and not be flimsy. So I don't mind when my copy paper is rolled up, but I'm going to show you anyway how to do it. And I just realized I cut off a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so if you've been doing this is your method of taking off the mat, then you can see the results is that it curls up, right? We don't want that. But I'm just going to show you. And then I'll flip it over. So what I did was I recently did a cake topper for a little girl named Sadie. For a class. So I just used the outline so you can see what it looks like. Kind of has some curls, but it's not a delicate image. So I thought it'd be easier to see it this way. Okay, so we're gonna flip it over, and instead of peeling the paper off the mat, we're peeling the mat off of the paper. So what I would do is I would take my handy dandy spatula and sort of get it started. So some places, just to get it started. And then you're peeling the mat away. So we're bending the mat up. Now this is where I don't like this method. I've seen people complain that their mat breaks. So that's not good. The other thing is it's really hard to see what you're cutting. While this image is not that delicate, oops, I already ripped it. You know, there's lots of times when I've cut really delicate things, and if I can't really see where it is, okay, so I'm doing a horrible job on this one because it's so thin. Hence, not my favorite method. I know, I'm like so biased. I'm not really giving you a chance to make your own decision. But you can see I've already ripped it. So, and while it's straight, it's not, this was not a good idea, right? I sort of butchered it. But we can do the next one. The next one is 65-pound paper. So it will be a little bit sturdier. And so you can you can hear it. Right? So this is definitely going better than the other one. But again, I guess my problem is that I can't really see my image that well to help pry this off. But I do have a successful one coming. And it's pretty straight, right? So we like this, we like it. All right, my last one is a 110-pound cardstock. So this should be definitely easier because it's super thick. And you can see I don't even need my spatula. I'm just using my, my fingers. And that was beautiful. Okay, so now I will show you how I do it. Now, I still take off the excess, right? And if you see how I'm pulling off the paper, even though this is the excess, I want to show you what it would look like. So I get my spatula and, you know, basically kind of go like this. So I'm loosening it up from the paper. And then I put my hand underneath as much as I can, and I'm slowly like popping it off. So you see it came off. I can see everything. I'm not getting my mat dirty. I just really like it because the main thing is that I can see. So I can, you know, get underneath this, kind of like wiggle my way around it. And as long as you're not pulling it at an angle, you're not going to get that bend. So what I want to do is sort of like I said, get underneath it, sort of make it parallel, pull it straight out. So like if anything, there's pressure coming this way, going towards me, okay? So I'm pulling it up and I'm pulling it towards me, and I pulled it off, and it's nice and straight. So this is the 110 pounds, so it's definitely the thicker one. Now we're going to the 65 one. So as I'm doing this, you can see I'm not like super careful, and there is some bend in the paper because I'm not really being careful. I'll show you what I mean. So you can kind of see there's a crease right there, but it's still relatively flat for how I manhandled that. But now back to how I do it, you want to go underneath, take your spatula, and sort of just pry your way underneath and loosen it up from the board. And I do love the spatula. So we bought my mother-in-law a Cricut for Christmas. It's her first Cricut machine. And I bought her an off-brand spatula, and I honestly felt like it just wasn't sharp and getting underneath. It was really bending the paper. But that was just my one time, so it could have been the spatula. This is Cricut. All right, so here's the 65-pound, perfectly straight. Love it, right? So here's the test. This is the copy paper. And if you remember what I was saying, I really don't care about the copy paper because usually I will have it propped up with cardstock behind it. So I don't mind that it's rolled up. But I will show you, I will avoid the rolling up in this one. Okay, so you can see that when I pulled it off a little bit. So it's not as straight, right? But for the actual name, I will make it straight. So I'm gonna go under. Please go. Okay, go. It was an emergency. I told her she could only interrupt me for an emergency, and it was a pooping emergency. So good thing I'm on my last one. All right, that's what happens when you have a 5-year-old. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm getting underneath it, and this is gonna be good even though it's super thin paper. Ta-da! You can see it's flat. But I would never ever just use copy paper, right? Like you would want a backing to this. And let me show you what I mean by that. So this is the outline. And since we cut so many of these, I'm gonna take one of these. And what I would do is put double-sided tape and then have it taped to this so that it's really sturdy, right? Because this thing is so flimsy. Let me show you, like, right? Like on a cake topper, that's not gonna fly. This thing is gonna eventually tilt over. So what you wanna do is, and I don't have it out because I didn't think I was gonna be doing it, but I will show you with double-sided tape how that would look. So, okay. I'm just gonna take my scratch paper, put it down. Okay, so we are gonna put this on top of this. So let's just get some double-sided tape down. Okay, put this on top. And now you have the white and it's not tilted over. So, all right, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you agree that my method is the best one. All right, bye guys.